What's up? What's up? Another day leveled up. It's your boy Salem, back with another one for you. Been away for a minute. Sometimes it be like that. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But back with some great news. Back with a great vibe. Anytime I'm away, just know I'm really taking some self introspective time to really assess situations and see what direction I should be going. It's important. You want to give when the cup is not full. You only want to give when your cup is runneth over, when it's overflowing, and it's not a strenuous activity. You don't feel like you're giving up yourself to allow yourself to open up and talk. But I'm glad to be back with my player ones. Pumped, pumped. So I'm gonna get into this. Today's topic is your intuition is the way. This past week has just been mind-blowing. Things have just changed so much for me, but I'm just so pumped. So while I've been away, this past Monday, I was really feeling compelled to make a big decision. So I've been working in the restaurant, which I like. I would sometimes serve, and I've been shift leading and managing there. But spreading myself, then working on some other projects outside of work, and one of them was working with my family with this business that they're a part of, that's helping people invest in themselves and teach others how to do the same while buying into this certain company. And there's a lot of potential to grow there, and it's been working for people. It's not like I wasn't shown that it works, but it wasn't speaking to me, and something was telling me there's a reason why it hasn't been taken off. And I started this back in October. Things just hadn't been taken off. I felt like I'm a really good at speaking and connecting with people, so I didn't think I thought myself I was going to take off with the business, but for some reason, things just weren't taken off. And I was like, as time went on, I started YouTube channel. I started other things that I felt like I was being compelled to do. Stepping up in positions at my restaurant, and not till this past week did I finally make the decision. I gave myself the whole month of February to finally decide if what was being shown to me, if I wasn't making any progress, if nothing changed for that whole month, I was going to make a decision to step away from that business. So this past Monday, I finally made that decision. I was feeling real stressed, but it was always there. The voice was always there. Anytime I'd go to these functions and things, it just didn't resonate with me. So I finally made the call, called my mentor through the business, called my family, let them know I was stepping away from the business. There's just other things I want to work on, and this is just not it at the moment. And I got a great response. Obviously responsive, like still allowing the door to be open to come back into the business, but I decided to just do my own thing, see what happens. So I come back to work that following Wednesday, because I was off those 2 days. Literally, the very next day I get back to work after I make that decision. One of my managers and coworkers tells me, like, "Hey man, have you heard the news? Like, the position for day manager is now opening up because we had to let go of so and so in the restaurant, and this position's now opened up to you, and I think you should apply. It'd be a good fit." And I was just like blown away, for one, because I'm like, I just made this decision 2 days before that. Just made the decision to go another direction, and that now this opportunity is presented to me the very next day I get back to work. So I'm just like, well, what's the schedule? What's the pay? What's this and that? And it's all conducive. I'm pumped to apply. And I apply. I hear some other people are applying that are really great individuals that I wasn't so sure if I'd get the position. And as time went on, uh, I just had this interview yesterday with my GM, and it just so happens that the people that were in the running just fell out of the running, and it just so happens it was just I'm now the day manager, and it wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't to. I don't believe in coincidence. Literally everything. So there's a quote I like to always go back to. Like Will Smith says, "The universe is like water. You have to make the most important decision, and that is to just decide. And the universe is like water. It wants to work with you. So I made a decision, and I was so dead set on like this would be great. I'd love to do this. I finally made the decision, and everything just got out of my way. And some people could be like, oh, well, so and so just fell out of the running and things like that. But it's like, no, there's more things at work behind the scenes that allowed me to get this position. And for me to even have the willingness to go in that direction, because I wouldn't even have had the thought to go in that direction if I didn't make the decision to leave the other business I was working on. And just so happened that was like almost waiting for me. So I'm now the new day manager at my job, which I'm pretty excited about. I have more time and ability to give this more time as well, and other things as well. And during this time, I also started seeing this girl that I have known for quite a while. I've known she's had interest in me, but I just kept things cordial. And not till last week or so, I gave it a chance and see what happens, because she's never not like went back on putting effort in. So I was like, let me hear it out, give it a shot, see what happens. But we enjoyed each other's time, but I went into it as I did with this YouTube channel and other things I do in my life now. And I put like a time limit, like even if it took 3 months to figure it out, I'm going to fully invest my time into being with this woman and really figuring out if she's the one. And it may be sooner than 3 months, it may take 3 months, but there's different factors that go into play. But I was willing to give it a couple months at least. We had great times. We both got to know each other. We both grew in just a small amount of time while we hung out. But every time we hung out and I was apart from her, I just didn't feel great about the situation. I had an uneasiness about the whole situation, and I was really struggling with the decision to keep it going. And I gave it a lot of thought, and I didn't want to make her mad, because I was the one that presented the opportunity and the offer to her of like, hey, I'm willing to give it a chance if you are, and she was willing. So I didn't want to let her down coming to this quick conclusion. But if anything I've realized is like I got to follow my intuition lately, because it's not been leading me astray. And that one of the next days after us hanging out, I hang out with one of my good friends. I had the day off. It's like 70-degree day. So we just go to the park, chill, throw some frizz, talk, catch up, and just relaxing on the day, going with the flow. And we end up watching like this older show called The Day After Tomorrow. It's just like the movie about like the climate change. It's almost ahead of its time. It was like 2004 that movie was put out. But what happens is like the ice caps melt, all this, and like there's a huge ice storm. It's like a new ice age. But there's a scene in the movie where they're burning all these books to keep warm. And there's a point where it comes to a point where they're contemplating on burning the Bible. And this guy's like, I will hold on to this book as long as possible. And I'm not even religious, but I know this is one of the most ancient forms of reason, and there's nothing that can refute the text in this book. That even if I have to keep just one sliver or page from it, I will do just that, because these words in this book are so powerful. And it sparked a interest for me to open up my own Bible just at random, and I opened it up to like Proverbs, because I feel that's one of like the easier ones to just dive into. It's pretty straightforward, and decided to go see what resonated with me. So I'm reading through, I come upon this small little scripture, and it says, "Don't judge wine by its label, or its bouquet, or its full-bodied flavor. Judge it rather by the hangover it leaves you with, the splitting headache, the queasy stomach." That spoke to my soul at that point when I read it, because I was feeling so uneasy after I would hang out with this girl. I'd feel uneasy leaving the business when I was away from it. And both of them have a great flair, great appearance, and enticing, and it's good while it's there. But the vibe and what it left me with after the fact was never felt like my vibe. So I went with that because that was my intuition, and I needed to hear that, because it made me decide right then and there on this relationship. So I made the decision to talk to her, be a mature adult, and not just leave it in the air or ghost her. And talk to her and said, like, how do you feel about the situation? Do you feel everything's going well? She admitted she had some things she needed to work on, and we're still going to remain friends. And but after the whole thing, she was almost apologizing to me that she was sorry for it, and it was like almost crazy, because I felt so uneasy of letting her down, but she felt the same way. But it's just insane. If anything I could give advice on, is to follow your intuition. Your intuition is the way. The only reason I'm here today, making all these big moves in my life these past few months, is because I'm following my intuition. My job, stepping up in leadership, getting a better role. Now I'm salary. I don't have to worry about putting in hours. I just go. I have a set schedule. Starting this YouTube channel, relationships, people I talk to, friends I hang out with. I follow my intuition so much lately, to a point I've never had before. My life is so different. This 2020 is insane. If I keep up this momentum, I'm just excited to see where I'm at the end of this year. But it's so insane. I love it. I'm grateful, very grateful for everything I'm experiencing as well. And I've been humbled. I've been being humbled as well with these comments, and the praise, and just how I'm being received from you guys is overwhelming sometimes. But I know God doesn't give us anything that we can't handle, and I'm just appreciative, and it makes me more focused to be the guy that I need to be, so you guys could be that person as well, and I could do that in my immediate work space, and just all around, in my relationships, my family, my friends. I'm just super excited for what's to come, and I'm always excited to give you guys this type of advice and insight on things, especially when it comes from firsthand experience. And I just want to leave you guys with that. I'll be posting more often. I'm gonna get my schedule down, get some things down that I need to get squared away. But just know, I'm always coming with it. I'm always gonna be here for you guys. I'm excited to do some personal one-on-one talks here soon, starting in the summer. I'm gonna make sure I just get everything in order for when that time comes. But until then, if any of this resonated with any of you guys, I really appreciate it if you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when I drop more content. and just know a belief may be comforting, but only through true experience can it be liberating. Grant yourself permission to level up. It's your boy Salem. I'm out.